Today is the second Sunday of July. According to this, it's Happy Cockfighters Day. Well, it's Colorado. Hope everybody's having a great day. They tried to kill Trump yesterday. Kind of interesting. So supposedly this is Happy Cockfighters Day, and I did grow up with my father, of course, who was a gallero, and I thought I'd read something out of an old Grit and Steel from June of 1978 that I thought fit kind of the scenario that's going on in the country right now, just in different ways, kind of in an abstract way, but I thought I'd share that today in a video. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. If anybody knows what Grit and Steel is, of course, this was a cockfighting magazine that was around for over 100 years. It's part of a pretty much not completely dead culture, but a culture that has gone completely underground. Of course, cockfighting is a blood sport, I know that. And of course, it is an international sport. This is practiced around the world. Of course, it's become kind of a banned thing here in the United States. But there are people who are still around that are into this. But let me share this letter, this note to the fraternity, as they phrase it. This is an interesting magazine. The ads in here are just out of this world. I mean, they're part of a totally different culture. Anyway, let me read the letter. This is called, again, this is from Grit and Steel, June 1978, and this is called To the Fraternity. We reiterate, game foul fanciers are the best people on earth, and I have often heard this, and I know it from experience. There is no other sport where people trust each other as much as we do. One entry loans or sells his opponent a cock to qualify and wait. The good-natured ribbing that goes on shows that breeders have the same qualities their fowl do. The people in our sport are blessed with keen minds, for which we are thankful. There is no other group that can think or act any faster, and most of them not as fast. Another asset is the love of what each is doing. There is no other place where a person gets as much enjoyment out of his work, and we all know it is hard work, from the first conception in the egg and before, because the ancestry is important until the death of the cock. Grit and Steel is for all fanciers. Make it your magazine. All human beings are made in God's image. We are alike, and yet so different. There is some good and some bad in each of us. We must endeavor to assist each other at all times to bring out the best. There is a purpose for each creature on this earth. Each one of us would like to think that he has added a little to make this world a better place. In the present day, we see people milling about, so many of them confused, struggling, and unhappy. We wonder what our Maker thinks of us, as we seem so often to forget that all we need is his guidance. We cannot even breathe if he does not will it. Why do we not always let him help us, who is so willing to do so? Grit and Steel has been blessed, and we offer our thanks. We know there is a place for us. We are a minority group. Let all of us in the sport fight together for our American heritage, our right of freedom to pursue happiness and prosperity. In doing this, we must try not to harm others. Many people today have forgotten, it seems, one of our biblical truths. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. Many people do not understand us, and it behooves us to show them what we really are. Let us try to be a little more patient in blaming others and take the beam out of our own eye first. You and I can only have a part in control of governmental affairs by what we do as voters and citizens. It behooves each of us to do our best at all times. Grit and Steel is your magazine. It's for all interested in the sport. We will show no favoritism as far as is humanly possible. We have no financial interest in any pit. We want to cooperate with each other. We have no entries. All foul are important to us. We do not bet. That would not be fair. Someone might think we had inside information. What we want is to publish a magazine that we are proud of. It takes you to help us do that. Anyway, kind of an interesting you know, statement. In 1981, my great grandmother died, and we traveled to Florida. And on the way there, well, actually on the way back, we stopped in Huntsville, Alabama, and we stopped at this man's house, John Fowler, and he was a gamecocker who was not feeling too well, was getting sick, and was starting to sell off his roosters. And my dad bought a trio from him of gray. A trio is a cock and two hens. So my own interest, even though I'm not really a big blood sport guy, so to speak, my interest in this kind of goes just simply because of the fact that I grew up around these animals, these birds. We had everything from ducks to peasants to quail and gamecocks. My father had probably, at his peak, probably around 80 gamecocks, fighting roosters. So I have a respect for this subculture, for this kind of, in this country at least, this kind of lost culture, simply because of my own experiences as a kid. And these birds, and the way my father treated them, they were treated like kings. They were spoiled, basically. These were animals that were treated like royalty. And some people have referred to to cockfighting as the sport of kings. So anyway, happy Cockfighters Day. I hope that if there's any cockfighters out there that find this video, I hope you take a moment to reflect on the amount of history behind your passion and the amount of love that goes into the birds that you raise and end up fighting in a pit. And even though it's a culture that a lot of people deem to be something terrible, I think that like all human endeavors, there's something of value, of course, in what you're doing and what has been done. So anyway, Algarado out. Everybody have a wonderful day.